Paul here. Welcome along everyone. My last video I did the pen assembler kit that I bought. Pen assembler kit, tool, whichever you want to call it. As I showed, I had one success, one failure. The one that came out successfully was the gold pen. Really nice pen, and I've basically turned it down to the right size now, ready for this next project video. At the same time as when I had the pen assembler kit tool delivered, I also had something else delivered, and I went for this, the Peter Child Pyrography kit. I went on Facebook. Well, I did a bit of searching and researching and everything. First of all, I was looking at the one at the Axminster one and the Peter Child's one. The Peter Child's one worked out probably about another £15–20 more expensive than the Axminster one. I mean, I have opened the box once already at work just to check what was in it, so I'll just change the camera around now so you can see what's in there, and then we'll have a go. Like I say, my first attempt at pyrography on a pen. Okay, so I'm here on the bench just behind my lathe. Box basically slides out from the end there. Just put that to one side, open this up, and you get your guarantee card. I've already registered that online rather than sending it off. You get an instruction booklet. Obviously the normal safety precautions, getting started, and it also gives you a few tips on stuff like that, on making points, because you'll see in a moment you actually do get some wire as well as some pre-made points as well. So it's quite a good instruction manual. I think I looked at this online on YouTube. Somebody did a review on one of these which was probably 2 or 3 years old, and it literally was just like a couple of A4 sheets. So they have vastly improved on there. You have your pen, it already has one wire on there, so be gentle. The power cable is just a standard, what we call a kettle lead in the IT world, so pretty common. You'll find them on literally most computers, certainly all desktop computers. You've got a coil of wire to make up your own tips, and also in there there's 3 more further tips. One of them, by the looks of it, is a little spade tip. And then take the cardboard off. There is the actual machine. A straightforward dial on the front, just numbered 1 to 10, so there's no temperature guides. The Axminster one, I believe, did give a temperature number, but obviously I think that's really only a guide, because I don't think they could be totally accurate about there. So you've got your details on the back there. So this is really for UK power supplies. It is only 230 volt input. As far as I'm aware, you should just plug your pen. So I'll just be careful with this, because I don't want to bend the wire that's in there already. That's quite a fine wire. It's fairly strong, so it shouldn't bend around too much. So these can go in either way, and I guess it's working a bit like a light bulb. So you've just got current going through. Doesn't make a difference which way it goes through. That will basically heat it up, a bit like a heater or a light bulb. So you're supposed to leave it on the lower setting. But you can put at least your pen there when it's not being used. Obviously make sure your pen is well away from anything when you're not using it. I suppose the only thing that would be nice would be if there was a better pen stand to put that in. That is actually quite a sharp clip to get your pen in and out. So yeah, that's very strong. That's probably good for, I'd say, for storage, but for using when you're picking up, putting down, I would say that that is going to be a bit annoying. So switch on, and we do get a light on there, and you can probably hear that it's a buzz in there, which I would guess is quite normal. So I'm going to lay the pen there, and I think in here that it did recommend for heating up, takes about 2 seconds to heat up, so I can feel the heat off there already. I think it said somewhere in here what you need to do is run it so it starts getting to about red. You don't want it orange or white, otherwise that is too hot. So it's on 0 at the minute. I'm just going to slowly bring this up temperature wise. So that's 1 up to 2, and you can feel there are several steps that you could probably stop at between each of the numbers, so it's not a straightforward go between the numbers. So we're going up to 3. There's still no colour change. 4. And I think I can start to see there's certainly something going on there now. Got to 5. And obviously this is trial and error. There you go, that's now going red. So I'm sat at my lathe here, using the tool rest because it's an ideal height to do your work. I did wonder whether to take this out and work on the bench, but I think it's, in this case, it's probably easier to work on here. If I have to lower the tool rest a bit, at least I can do that quite easily. I may have to increase the temperature as well, just to see how it goes on. So I don't know how well you'll see this. I have actually penciled out what I want to do here, and let's just see. Oh, look at that, that is quick. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try and turn that down a bit. Going to stick that down to number 3. That'll obviously take a little bit to cool, because this is had CA glue on it once. It may be the reaction on the CA glue. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm no calligraphy expert, I'm no artist. Let's see if we can cut a little bit darker on the edges there. Obviously the key thing is to don't try and stick it down for too long in one place, because it will just burn a big blob. So yes, that's my first attempt. It's very comfortable to hold. I've been told by one person that the pen still does get warm over time, but obviously if you're doing small projects like this, it feels comfortable, it feels natural. It's just using like a thick pen, probably a bit like if anybody's turned anything like the Euro twist pens like I've done, it feels sort of like that, and using the tool rest here seems ideal. So I suppose this is a 2-part follow-up. I'll cover the pen disassembler kit first. brilliant because at least I can recover this pen. Putting things back, they seem to be quite firm, but I'd say it just lacks a little bit of edge. I mean, for example, putting this in before, when you put these two parts together, it was really, really tight. So it's probably made it a bit more manageable for somebody on a user point of view, but you don't get that crispness like you do with a new bit. So for example, that centre band there, I can twist around now, whereas I'm sure on the original one, before I did that, when it was pushed together like that, it was, because it was so tight when you push the two parts together, that centre band didn't move around. There's no wobble or anything in it. If there is, a very, very little, but you don't get really that same crispness. So for the pen assembler kit, I would say you really have to make your own mind up if you want it. For saleable pen, I don't think I would sell that, not at full price, for what I'd expect for it if I'd turned up correctly first time. It just doesn't feel so crisp as it should be. So again, make up your own mind. But having said that, it's turned what was a not so good pen into quite a nice pen to be used indoors. So it has turned out something there. Okay, so for the pyrography kit, I've got to say, really, really easy to use. The key, I think, is to start off at a fairly low temperature, and it just feels natural. The holding the pen just does feel natural, like holding a pencil or something like that, and you can quite easily do light bits over the wood. Even obviously where I was here, over the pen mandrel, resting your hand on the tool rest, nothing felt awkward. It really did feel quite nice. As to the oak, I don't think is really probably the best thing to do it on. I usually finish my pen kits off with, after about 5 coats of CA, I'll usually wet and sand them, so it tends to create this white powder on them, and then another 5 coats of CA, and then the T-cut as well. Now the T-cut, obviously if you've got any holes or anything left in your wood, again, T-cut being fairly whitish, does leave sort of bits as well, so I do need to clean this up a bit, but I don't know whether they'll actually show on there how clear that is actually coming up, but there are actually sort of like white spots on there. But for first go, especially on oak, really, really pleased with it. Like I say, it is really easy to use, and I'm looking forward to where I can possibly use it on other projects, but I'll certainly be trying it on some other woods, maybe on some other pens, something like that, to do a good example and work out how to obviously get rid of these white spots. So any thoughts from anybody would be most appreciated. So if this is your first time here, I do fairly regular project videos most weeks. I try to cover a whole different type of things, usually first for me, so I'd appreciate it if you do hit the subscribe button. For my existing subscribers, thank you very, very much again for coming back and watching yet another one of my videos. It is most appreciated, and I would appreciate it again if everybody hit the like button, hit the share button, and please do leave a comment below, because it's always nice to get your feedback, what your thoughts are. It just spurs me onto other things as well. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you on the next project video. Bye.